Hello and welcome to the Heart-Centered Therapist Podcast. I'm your host, Cindy Gozansky, a therapist who believes in leading with love, both in our professional work and in every aspect of our lives. Whether you're a new or experienced therapist seeking to deepen your connection with clients and yourself, you're in the right place. And if you're here to find ways to nurture your own well-being, grow personally, or expand your mental health knowledge, you're also in the right place. Join me as we dive deep into the art and science of therapy, with compassion at the core of every conversation. Because here we believe that leading with love and being heart-centered isn't just a practice, it's a way of life. Hello and welcome to a Mental Health Threads episode of the Heart-Centered Therapist Podcast. We explore simple, accessible strategies for well-being and mental health. These episodes are for everyone because talking about mental health openly is how we reduce stigma, build awareness, and become voices for change. Today, I want to talk about something that honestly can be stressful just thinking about it: how to unwind and decompress. Everywhere we look, there's a new must-try way to de-stress, whether it's tracking your sleep with an Oura ring, plunging into an ice bath, or red light therapy to calm your nervous system. It just seems like the wellness world is overflowing with advice, and sure, some of it can be life-changing, and it can also feel overwhelming, like there's a right way to relax. But here's the truth. This is the way I see it. Stress relief isn't about chasing trends. It's about finding what truly works for you. You all know I love to run. Running might help me clear my mind on some days, but for someone else, pounding the pavement may feel more like punishment. And what works one day doesn't always work the next. So instead of trying to fit into someone else's version of self-care, or relying on only one activity that some days might let you down, let's talk about a simpler, more personalized approach to relaxation, one that actually feels good and fits into your life. Let's take the urgency out of stress reduction and make it personal, because one-size-fits-all relaxation just does not exist. Instead, today I'm going to walk you through 4 simple concepts that can help you find what actually works for you. Okay, first up is energy. We have to know what drains our energy and what restores it. Stress relief is about recharging, but what refuels one person might deplete another. Are you someone who thrives on being around people? Or do you need quiet time to recover from social interactions? Stress relief is about recharging, but what refuels one person might deplete another. Are you someone who thrives on being around people? Or do you need quiet time to recover from social interactions? If you're more extroverted, too much solo time might actually feel draining. In that case, your ideal stress relief might look like things that involve people: going to trivia night, being part of a book club, going to a concert, or out to dinner with friends. On the flip side, if you're more introverted, you probably need solo activities, like a long walk, journaling, listening to music, doing art, reading, playing a game on your phone as a way to reset. Extroverts typically recharge by engaging in social, interactive, and stimulating activities, while introverts typically recharge through solitary, quiet, or low stimulation activities that allow for deeper focus and relaxation. Here's another example. We all know that exercise is beneficial in reducing stress. But the extroverted type who gets energized when sharing experiences with others probably gets a greater boost from competing in team sports or group classes, like an indoor soccer league or a hockey team, going to Orange Theory or CrossFit. Whereas the introverted type craves more physical space and competing with oneself, a long solo run, going on a kayak or paddleboarding, or even going to a yoga class where you have your own mat. Even nature works differently for different people. Exploring nature is known to rejuvenate our minds and our bodies and bring us that awe and that sense of relaxation. But a solitary hike in the woods may not be restorative for someone who prefers to be where the action is, like volunteering on a trail cleanup or being part of a group going out birdwatching together. The key here is to tune in to what makes you feel restored and refreshed, not just what sounds like it should. Okay, the second category is challenge. Challenge. Wait a second, isn't stress reduction about rest? This may seem a little counterintuitive, stress relief through challenge. Why would we want to challenge ourselves if we're trying to relax? But here's the thing. Engaging in something new and a little challenging actually creates a sense of excitement and accomplishment, which in turn reduces stress. Think about someone you know who is confident. Usually there's also something calm about them. Confidence lets us relax and feel comfortable because we start trusting in ourselves. And so when we challenge ourselves, it builds confidence and relaxation. You don't have to take on a huge risk to get this benefit. Any activity that engages your brain in new learning counts, like brain games, playing guitar, trying a new yoga class, or a new recipe. I love learning languages, and I recently discovered that when I use the Duolingo app, that daily streak challenge gives me a little extra boost to keep going. In fact, we know lots of apps have challenges built in because it helps us with consistency and focus. And focus also creates relaxation. Of course, the challenge can be as big as you want. If you're someone who thrives on physical movement, your challenge might be more active and more on the edge, like rock climbing or surfing or going for a new personal best. But you don't have to go skydiving or learn 5 languages. Just do something that nudges you out of autopilot. Even these small challenges can help reset your brain. And the key takeaway here is that growth and confidence are naturally relaxing. Okay, moving on. Number 3 is repetition, the power of rhythm. There's a magic to repetition. You've probably heard that repeating a mantra or prayer can help quiet the mind. Meditative practices may slow down our thoughts, but sometimes our body doesn't follow suit. We can benefit even more, often by adding in a repetitive motion. And this is because repetition creates rhythm, and rhythm is soothing. And it's not just about words. Our bodies also respond to repetitive motion. Think about activities like swimming laps, knitting, practicing chords on a guitar, kneading dough, walking on a treadmill. When your body is engaged in a rhythmic, repetitive motion, your mind starts to follow. There's a relaxation that happens. This is why athletes and musicians warm up with repetitive drills. They know the power of rhythm and repetition to get relaxed. It creates a flow state where everything just starts to feel natural and effortless. And when we're in that flow state, stress has a way of melting away. Think about this. How many times have you ever gone for a walk or went outside and are doing gardening or mowing the lawn or something repetitive, and you get that creative thought, you get that answer to a problem you've been mulling over? It's because that repetitive movement relaxes your body and opens up the creative part of your brain. And of course, that's the relaxation and the beauty that can happen then. Did you know 1 in 5 people will experience a mental health issue this year? That's why I founded mentalhealththreads.com. It's my personal mission to expand mental health awareness and break the stigma surrounding mental illness. You can find fun, creative, and inspiring products like t-shirts, hoodies, hats, candles, and more, all with positive messages that remind us to take care of ourselves and our mental health. Check out our bestsellers like Perfectly Imperfect, Go to Therapy, Love Wins, Stop Overthinking. And our semicolon designs are customer favorites like Still Here. Plus, we have a special collection just for therapists, like I'm a mom and a therapist, nothing scares me, or Therapist Mode Off. So come check it out at mentalhealththreads.com Our mission is to start important conversations about mental health and to remind you that you are not alone. Check out mentalhealththreads.com today. So we've talked about energy, about challenge, and repetition. The fourth category is consistency. The secret to making relaxation stick is consistency. It's one thing to find these stress relief techniques that work for you, but we know the real magic happens when we can make them a regular part of our routine. And here's the trick. Start small. Like so small that it almost feels too easy. Instead of committing to 15 minutes of meditation every day, start with 1 minute. Build to 5 minutes if you can. Instead of saying you're going to journal a whole page every day, start with 3 sentences. Let go of the pressure and the overwhelm that comes with starting anything new, and set yourself up for success with something that is doable and that you can stick with. Maybe 5 minutes is your sweet spot, whatever works for you. The goal is to make relaxation automatic, something that your brain expects and welcomes, rather than something you feel pressured to schedule in. Because let's be real, stressing out about how to de-stress is not what we're going for. Okay, so that's it. 4 main categories to help relax and de-stress. Knowing your energy, what drains or recharges you. Bringing in a little challenge, having repetition and rhythm, and consistency. You probably know your stressed out self really well. I know I do. But how well do you know your relaxed self? Believe me, I'm still meeting her, and sometimes she surprises me. I knew she liked quiet mornings, but that 20-48 game, turns out it quiets her mind. Stress relief isn't about forcing yourself into someone else's version of self-care. It's about discovering what truly recharges you and making it a part of your life in a way that feels good. So what's your go-to way to de-stress? Are you a solo hiker, a group fitness lover, a crossword puzzle master, or someone who finds calm in painting or some kind of craft? Maybe you're into something completely different. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear. Finding what works for you is what really matters. Thank you for listening and putting your mental health first. If this episode resonated with you, please pass it along to someone who might need it. Every shared conversation helps break the stigma and reminds people they're not alone. Until next time, remember, mental health matters, and so do you. Thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe or share with a friend. And I'd love to connect with you and continue our heart-centered conversations over on Facebook in the Heart-Centered Therapist community or on Instagram at Heart-Centered Therapist. Let me know which episode was your favorite or what topics you'd love to hear more about. Your feedback helps me create valuable content for everyone who is leading with love in their work and life. Until next week, remember to lead with your heart, because it's not just what we do, it's who we are. Stay heart-centered.